Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, everyone. Today is September the 12th, 2021. Today I'm going to be looking at the S&P 500 and where we left off on Friday. I'm also going to be taking a look at our watch list names like Apple, where we left off on Friday, and the sell-off, along with Peloton, had a nice strong week. Moderna also pushing higher. Zoom showing some life at that 305 resistance line, and exciting news from AMC and Dash as well. With that being said, guys, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and also if you're not subscribed to our channel, please hit that subscribe button and also click the ticker where you get notifications on when we release our videos. Every Sunday I do release a video. As you guys can see here, we do have the S&P 500 chart open. Last week I was looking at that 45 line, which was nearing that all-time highs. We did have a down week last week, pushing all the way down to 44.60 on some weakness. Overall, the market does have that bearish momentum to it. I am looking at key support lines at 44.50 and 44.30 as key areas for potentially to see a bounce in. We do have a small gap fill here at that 44.40 line, which could potentially be hit during futures. And then we could see a bounce heading into the market on Monday. Overall, I am neutral on the market right now because I want to see how Monday opens up. But like I said, 44.50 is a key area for me, which does fill that gap around that 44.40 area. And if we do head lower, look for 44.30 as your next key area of support. Obviously, areas of support are always meant to be broken. So we do have another area, which is that 33.75 if we do see a bigger market sell-off, which was also the area where we did catapult from, leading us to all-time highs at 45.45. Now to the downside, what am I going to look at to see if there's a trend change? Well, that 44.80 mark is a key area for me to see that we are in a better mood, better posture in the market. So breaking that to me is key, along with key resistance at 4,500, which is psychological resistance and was previous resistance over here back on August the 25th. So those two areas right here, 44.80 and 4,500 respectively, if we do break above those, I am currently bullish on the market and we are potentially going to hit 45.50 on a strong week. Okay, so that is the S&P 500. So keep your eyes on those target areas heading into tomorrow and next week. Also, guys, if you are part of our Discord channel at Wealthy Mentor Trading, congratulations. We are having a strong month and there's plenty of opportunity. We do have a promotion going on in September for $49.95. The link is in the description. Click the link and that will get you sorted out to join us. We have amazing watch lists, swing trading, day trading names, along with option callouts. So if that does interest you and you do want to join us, hit the link in the description. And if you also want to join our community on IG, Wealthy Mentor Trading, that's a great way to get a hold of me if you have any questions. With that being said, guys, I am going to head over to the daily watch list. And the first name that caught my eye this week was Apple. And Apple is significant to me because it usually does tend to move with SPX. So obviously SPX had a down week. So what you're going to see is Apple have a down week, pushing us all the way down to that 148 support. This is a good buying opportunity in Apple, just based on my experience. We did have some news about a judge ruling over Apple, allowing other types of in-app purchases. That was kind of bearish, and that did also push the stock down. So market conditions and that news regarding in-app purchases did push us all the way down to that 148, 147 area. I do see us bouncing from that 147 area as long as the market, SPX, as I mentioned, pushes past that 44.80 mark. If you see SPX pushing past that, you do know that Apple's underway for a bounce. Overall, if we can't hold that 147 resistance and we do see continued weakness in the market, as I mentioned, we can potentially go down to that 145, 144 area where we did have some support here, and it was the launching point for us to hit all-time highs at that 157. Overall, what I want to see for entries next week is a break above 150 for potential take profits and retests at 152 and 154, where we do have some strong resistance over here. on multiple occasions at that 154 line. Obviously, if the market corrects and we do push higher than that, 156 and 157 retest at all-time highs is a high possibility. Overall, like I said on SPX, I do want to see how the market opens up on Monday, and that is very key and important to me to set the tone going into the week ahead. Okay, that is Apple on the hourly time frame, and 148, 147. If you can hold that, that's a nice juicy position to enter. Okay, especially if you are options trading. Good risk to reward right there. Next name that did show some life, and it did make about a 22% move, was Peloton. Big move here. It caught me off guard a little bit myself. We did break that $100 barrier, that resistance area, and I had potential take profits at that 106, 109, 111, and 114. All those targets got hit at Wealthy Mentor Trading, and we did push all the way to 117.50, which was another take profit area before closing Friday's session on some weakness. And that's not weakness due to Peloton itself. It was just the market in general selling off. And when you do see SPX, it is like your compass. When you see the whole general market selling off, the top 500 companies, you're going to see smaller names such as Peloton also following through on that weakness. So going into tomorrow, I do want to see 114 hold. If that does hold at 114 and we retest that, buyers step in, I am looking for a break above 117.50 as my entry point for potential take profits at 120, 122, and 124, where we did have some resistance. I am going to switch over here to the 4-hour time frame to give you guys a broader outlook. And as you guys can see here, right, that 122.5 to 124 area, multiple buyers and sellers right here. These long wicks show that sellers are in control, pushing the price down and making this 122.50 area as strong resistance. So a break above 160, 117.5, I am looking at tests of 122.5, where, like as I mentioned, we do have strong resistance. If that is broken, I can see us potentially hitting 124 before getting pushed back down. Now to the downside, as I mentioned, I do want to see 114 hold. If 114 can't hold, obviously due to market conditions or for whatever reason, we receive an analyst downgrade, look for 111, 109, and 106 as your key support areas on Peloton. Overall, I am neutral on Peloton. Do want to see that 117.5 area break for me to change my neutral to bullish. Okay. Another name that caught my eye and has been making some strong strides is Moderna. MRNA is the ticker. And as you guys can see here, we're not too far away from all-time highs. I am going to zoom in quite a bit here. And we did push all the way to that 460, 465 resistance. Going into next week, I do want to see that 465 area break for potential push up to 480. And if we do hit 480, guys, switching over here to the daily time frame, you guys can see that we do have all-time highs at 500. And the way this stock moves, it has a lot of momentum and it can definitely make multiple percentage moves, 10, 20% in one day. And it can also retest this candle area at 480, which is why I have that take profit area. These two candles right here were big, showed some nice volume. So I am looking for that retest of that 480 mark going into next week. Now, switching over to the 4-hour time frame for some downside positions, I am looking at 444 to hold, along with 430 as my key support zones. If 430 breaks, potentially going down to 420 is my shorting position and my first target at 420. Now, if that does break, 410 is my second take profit to the downside if you are playing with options. So those are my put positions, breaking 430, 420 target number 1, and 410 target number 2 for retests. Overall, I am bullish on Moderna. I do want to see 465 break, and I believe if we do break that with some convincing volume and hopefully an analyst upgrade, we can definitely catapult all the way to that 480 resistance line, as I mentioned. Okay, and fundamentally speaking, Moderna is set to unveil its experimental 2-in-1 COVID and flu shot. So stuff like that can definitely push the stock higher if that is successful. So keep your eyes on Moderna going into next week. Okay, another name, and this name has been in the dumpster basically ever since its earnings call at the end of August. And as you guys can see here, the earnings call did break us down all the way to that 290 support area, and we were trending sideways pretty much since earnings right here. As you can see, a big volume pushing us down to that 290 area. But last week, it did show some signs of strength, hitting that 305 resistance line. So going into next week, the reason why this is important to me is we always use, not always, but usually we retest these breakdown candles. And the first key to test these breakdown candle is that break of that 305 resistance. If we do break that, look for 315, 325, and the bottom of this push down candle right here at that 330 area. So I would say 325 to 330 is a highly possible move if we do break 305, that we can touch those areas. Okay, this was the breakdown candle on earnings, bearish candle. So look for that going into next week. Obviously, if we do not see some volume breaking 305 and we get a push down, look for 290 as key support, as obviously we have multiple touches here on the 4-hour time frame. Now, if that does finally give out, look for 282 as your next area of support. Okay, and I am in a wait and see approach on Zoom. Like to see 305 break, and I want to see convincing volume breaking that, and hopefully market conditions hold up to justify this move higher. Okay, so that is Zoom on the 4-hour time frame. Another name which did have an exciting move, and that is AMC. Wonderful move on AMC, finally getting past that $50 area. And I have been watching this name as a hawk, right? Key for me next week is to stay above this $50 area for a potential retest at 53, 57. And also I do have tests at 60 and 62. I am going to switch over here to the daily time frame so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. See right here, breaking above 50 and staying above 50 is key for me. We do have a lot of price action between this $50 and 57.50 area. Also, when I say 53, you guys can see here at 53, we are met with a lot of wicks down here, which is resistance. And with this name, you do get a lot of momentum pushes, right? A lot of price action, that type of stuff. So look for 53 as a scalp play. And if that does break, obviously with convincing volume, and you can see the price action with AMC. You can see what's healthy and what's manipulated. So when you see healthy price action, you're definitely going to be looking past that $53 area for retest of 57.5. Okay, I am excited on AMC. Overall, the chart does look like it's catapulting all the way up for potential retest of that $62, $65 area. Will that happen next week? I don't know. But as a trader, I do have targets and I do want to meet those targets. Okay. The key of the game is treat this as a business, not a casino, right? Don't let your emotions get involved. Follow what the chart's showing you. For me, $53.57 are my targets going into next week. Now to the downside, if we cannot hold $50, look for 45 and 42 as your key support areas. As you guys can see here, during this push up, we did have some red candlesticks right here on the daily time frame for where we can potentially see support at. Okay, fundamentally, there was also some news about GME and AMC partnering up, and past that, we did have a strong Labor Day weekend at the box office. So these type of things, these type of news can definitely drive AMC a lot higher. And obviously, as I mentioned in previous market streams, that short squeeze, that's still there, and that could definitely push the stock to unfathomable amounts. Okay, that's AMC on the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and we do offer AMC as a swing trading name, part of our meme stock watch list at Wealthy Mentor Trading. So obviously, if you guys want to, join in on us, hit that link in the description, and we can get you started right away. $49.95 is our promotion for September. Okay, another name that's part of our swing trading watch list are low caps and our top 10 new stocks, and that is Dash, DASH. And this is important to me just by looking at the chart. As you guys can guess right here, we do have all-time highs, big candlestick right here showing buyer rejection, pushing us all the way down into this consolidation area at 204. This week, we did have a nice week pushing all the way to that 215 resistance. I am looking for a break above 215 for retest of 222 and 226 as my bullish targets to the upside. These are the big wicks over here, which show buyer rejection. Sellers were in control, pushing it down. So a break above 215, we could potentially test 222 and 226. Obviously, if we have some strong volume, such as this spike right here, this spike right here, this push right here, could potentially lead us all the way to all-time highs if we have a strong week in the markets. Now, to the downside, I do have 204 as clear support, multiple price action over here, and rejections at the 204 area. Previous resistance turns into support. So 204 is key support for me. If that does break 196, again, where we had multiple rejections, which was a resistance area, turns to support. 196 is in the area for me if we do see some market weakness and we do get a big rejection at that 215 area. From a fundamental standpoint, there is a lawsuit involving New York City over how restaurants and consumers should be charged after the pandemic prompted a shift to platforms like Dash and Grubhub. So keep that in mind as well, guys, that this is a name that is very fundamental, news driven. So something like this could potentially push the stock up or down if it's bearish, and you see how the overall market reacts to this type of news going into next week. All right, guys, those are the 6 names that I really wanted to concentrate on. And to give you guys a recap, Apple did have a weak push all the way to that 147, 148 area. Keep that in mind. If the market does correct, Apple would be a great swing play. Peloton closed the week pretty strong, breaking 100, pushing all the way to 117. Look for a break above 117 for your entries. Moderna, you're looking at 465. A break above 465, 480 is your next take profit area. Zoom, like I mentioned, everything hinders on that 305 area. A break above that can catapult us to that 325, 330. And AMC, stay above that $50 area. As long as we're above $50, I am bullish on AMC. And as I mentioned here, Dash 215 is that key area to break for entries. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Please like this video. It definitely helps with the Facebook, YouTube, IG algorithms, gets my name out there, and every little bit helps. If you are interested in trading with us, as I mentioned, we do have the link in the description. Click that and it will get you started right away. Have a great trading week, guys, and if you have any questions, you can always feel to follow me on IG and hit me up. Thanks. See you guys next week.